Hi everyone, my name's Daryl. So if you're in the process of purchasing a used Aliner or pop-up camper and you're buying it from a private party, it's likely that you're going to have to consider what kind of hitch ball that you're going to use prior to picking up the camper. So you're likely going to have to either have some sort of a rise or some sort of a drop depending on your tow vehicle. One of the things you also might want to consider is getting an adjustable one, so that way you can adjust it when you get there. But let's talk about how you can measure your tow hitch so that you can get the right size hitch specifically for that camper. Okay, so I'm down at the coupler and the ball needs to sit inside of the coupler, and you want it set so that your trailer is relatively level. And that means when you hook up the hitch ball to the receiver on your tow vehicle, it's got to be at a certain height. So if I'm referencing my Aliner manual, this is back from 2022, so it's relatively new. And if I'm looking at the section that talks about the coupler, basically it says for this model, for a classic with 14-inch tires, the top of the hitch ball should be at about 21 inches from the bottom of the ground. Now, if I do have an off-road one with 15-inch tires, then the top of the ball should then be at 23 inches when it's connected to the receiver. So one really important thing is, depending on the year and the model that you have, the hitch ball height might actually change a little bit in regards to the recommendations from Aliner. So I gathered the user manual from 2012, 2016, and 2022, and the recommendations for each of those years changed a little bit. So if you have your user manual, make sure that you look that up, or if you're in the process of going to pick it up, ask the private seller what the recommendations are in the user manual. And if you really need to, if you know the year and the model, just give Aliner a call to get their recommendations. Okay, so we know we want our hitch ball, the top of it, to be about at 21 inches, but we need to figure out, we don't have a hitch ball. We're just gonna go pick up our camper, and we need to buy a hitch ball. So probably the easiest way of doing this is just to get a measurement from the ground, kind of like right up to the top of the receiver. Not quite up to the top, right about where the metal ends at the top there. And if I look at that measurement, I'm looking at about probably 15¼ inches. And so then what I want to do is I want to add about 3 inches to that. So if I look at kind of a standard hitch ball, it's about from the bottom of the hitch ball to the top of the hitch ball, you're looking at about 3 inches, or maybe like 2 3/4 inches, something like that. But I'm just going to take this measurement, which is 15¼ inches, and I'm going to add 3 inches to it. And so that's 18 3/4 inches. And so I'm supposed to be at 21 inches. So that means I probably need at least 2 1/4 inch rise in my hitch ball from the receiver in order to make up that difference. But there's an important but. You need to also account for the tongue weight of the Aliner. So my tongue weight is somewhere around 210, 215 pounds. And then you also have to account for the weight of yourself and any of the gear and any of the other persons that you take with you on your trip. And so all of that is going to lower the vehicle. So when you're doing these weights and these measurements, you need to simulate that. And that's why kind of an adjustable ball is kind of nice. But you need to account for that when you're doing this measurement. And so what I'm going to do is basically add weight to the back of the vehicle. I'm going to add weight inside the vehicle for the cargo, and then I'm going to get my wife and my dogs out here, and we're going to see what that does to the height of the hitch. All right, 200 pounds is going into the back of the RAV4. Oh, one additional thing, make sure that when you're doing these measurements and these weights, that you do it on a flat surface. So I'm doing this in my garage, which is totally flat. If you do it on like a driveway that isn't flat, your measurements and your weights will get skewed. All right, so a quick update. So after adding 215 pounds, and this isn't actually at the hitch, this is kind of still inside the vehicle, so actually the tongue weight might actually reduce the height even a little bit more, but we were at 15 and a quarter, and now we're at 14 and a half. And so, yeah, just by adding that 200 pounds in the back, my vehicle has already dropped 3/4 of an inch. Come on, kids. Come on. Come on, in you go. In you go. In you go. Come on. Up. Oh, there you go. Good job. Okay. Okay, everybody's in. All right, everybody. So we're going to re-measure with my wife, Nicole, in the car, as well as my pups. And so let's go ahead and see how much a difference that makes with all the cargo in the vehicle, as well as the simulated tongue weight of about 215 pounds. So looking at the measurement, wow. Okay, so that is 13 and about 3/4 inches is basically what it comes to. And so we were at 15 and a quarter inches. And so that's 1.5 inches difference basically with that different weight. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do the math and figure out what kind of rise and drop that I need on my hitch. So basically with my vehicle weighed down, it was 13 3/4 inches basically to the top, kind of the middle of the hitch, all right? So then what we want to do is we want to add 3 inches to that, which is basically, you know, the height of the ball, right? So that puts us at 16 3/4 inches. So we want the top of our ball to be, for my Aliner Classic, we want it to be 21 inches. So basically the difference between 21 inches and 16 3/4 inches is 4 1/4 inches. And so I would need a rise of 4 1/4 inches. So this one right here, this actually has a 4-inch drop, which I think this has a 3-inch rise. So this one isn't actually going to quite do it. This one right here is a really nice U-Haul hitch ball, and this one has a rise of 4.5 inches, as well as a drop of 5 3/4 inches. So this is actually going to work really well for our needs. So if you're a new Aliner owner and if this was valuable to you, I certainly would appreciate a like, and also consider subscribing to my channel. And I hope to see you in the next one again very soon.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year.